Come with me to sew the Enchantress corset. You want to cut the outer layer, the lining, and the inner facing as well, only I didn't show the inner facing. Here are the straps along with this lining. As you can see, inner facing has been already applied to them. So right sides together, sew all around the edge, leaving an opening right at the curve, or you can do it anywhere. Tip for you is when you're doing the straps, you want to go with a stitch length of 2, especially on those rounded edges. Now is when the fun starts. This is the creative part. This is where you get to just play with the appliques. I had a whole bunch, mostly gold. I wanted gold with this green corset. That's Joann's fabric, mostly. Some of them are Amazon, but it was mostly Joann's, and some of them was scraps from other projects that I just was able to reuse. For sewing the appliques, I use clear nylon thread. I set my stitch length to 4 and the tension to 1. The only reason why I do the tension to 1 and not 0 because on my machine it will become tangled and loose underneath it. And there's my first broken needle, 1 out of 2. With the right sides together, pin along the top edge and sew. Make sure to match those seams. After sewing the top edge, trim to 1/4 inch. You can use pinking shears if needed. After you trim the top edge, go ahead and understitch to prevent that lining from showing on the right side. This pattern has seam allowance at the bottom edge. Doesn't mean you need it. You can cut that off and just apply bias, or you can turn everything inside out and just sew the bottom edge and close it through the front. That's why I have the seam allowance, to give you options, but what I like it the most is because I can even things out without losing any inches.
this is my first corset that I ever made myself. My first Renaissance corset that it was drafted by me. I put it on my dress form. I did the draping tape. I got someone grade it for me. I regret a few things. Don't get me wrong. I had to do adjustments, and I recently did this last adjustment. This is me trying my last adjustment, and it works really well. Before, I had this right here, way up here, and this way up high, which it was done purposely because I used to work at a bridal store, and every woman that had a strapless gown used to complain to me, well, not every woman, but the majority of it, that there was some spillage here, and they'd usually yank their dress up, throwing away their waist, putting it all the way up here, and then they complained, oh, it's digging into me, which was exactly what my pattern was doing. So I made it higher so I can hide that, but then it was digging into the armpits. So it's uncomfortable, so I got that fixed. I lowered this down and lowered a little bit of this so you still have space. And then down here, I was doing something funny on those seams down here, so I fixed that as well. Just a little tweaking. But I really love this pattern. I like how it points. I like the removable straps. You can go like this, you can take them off. I mean, it's perfect. And then you have the back. And the back is rounded. I didn't want it up to here. I didn't want to be sweaty. Like, I already have a lot of hair, very long hair. And when I have my hair down, I just feel like it's just sweat on top of fabric doing a Renfaire, a really hot Renfaire. So I trim it down a little bit. Could have adjusted the straps a little more. They're just slightly loose, but I'm also short. And I said, let's go for it. Let's try the pattern exactly how it comes from the paper. Not any adjustment. I just need to know how it's going to fit if someone just cuts it and sews it. This is how it looks if someone cuts it and sews it. I did not do any adjustments to this to this pattern after I adjusted it on the 2026 adjustment. I just wanted to cut, get your fabric, sew it, and call it a day. I didn't want to have to do anything to it. Like, you know how some patterns you have to, like, you cut them, you put them in your mock-up, and then you have to tweak, and then you're like, oh, come on, like, I already spent a whole hour or two trying to do a mock-up instead of just from the box, from the pattern, from the paper. But this is it. This is straight out from the paper. I didn't have to do any adjustments to it. This is why these are loose, because they could probably point a little more. But I am 5'3" on a good day. I'm normally 5'2". So I think adjusting those would have been great. But like I said, I just wanted to try it out straight from the pattern. And this is straight from the pattern. So this goes to a 42 waist, from 32 to 42. And from 48 to, I think, 38 bust.